Hello, and thank you for joining me, Shanny Leigh, for this yoga video for recovery after a run. I am currently in the Bahamas in Marsh Harbor, serving with an organization called All Hands and Hearts. And this last Saturday, we ran collectively 36 kilometers to fundraise money to help build some roofs on the island. And so my legs are definitely feeling the run. I myself ran about 11 or 12 kilometers of that 36. And so we'll just get to it by working a little bit out of the legs today. So thank you for joining me, and I will see you on the mat. So we'll get started today in Baddha Konasana, butterfly pose, bringing the soles of the feet together. And they can be farther out, they can be closer in, kind of whatever feels good for you. And I invite you, maybe you have your hands grabbing your toes or somewhere along your legs, whatever feels good. And I invite you to close your eyes and start to come to the breath here. If you'd like to add a little bounce to your legs, you can. Mostly where I'm feeling my last run is in the inner thighs, and so just working on opening those up. And just draw attention to how you feel here today. Maybe you gain some inspiration from my backdrop. The ocean is definitely one of my favorite places, and it's just beautiful to do yoga out here, listening to the sound of the waves. Let's just take one more round of breath here. Maybe giving thanks for something in your day. And exhale it out. And on your next inhale, maybe you sit up a little bit straighter. And then begin to find gentle movements in the neck. Sometimes I notice when I run, I crunch my shoulders up. Maybe you do the same, or just kind of holding your hands in a similar position, working out some of the kinks. One more round of breath here. And then let your head come to hang center. And then slowly bring your head back up. Maybe you invite a smile to your lips. Exhale, side out, and you can keep your eyes closed, or you can gently start to flutter them open. And then I invite you to start to draw circles with your hips, using your hands as a counterbalance here to pull in. And do about 3 in one direction. And then switch it up, and 3 in the other direction. Last round of breath here. And then come back center, inhale, sit up nice and tall. And we'll stretch our legs out nice and long. If you need to adjust on your mat to do that, you can. Coming into Paschimottanasana. Sitting up nice and tall, inhale, arms reach up. And exhale, fold it forward. Reach for the toes or wherever your hands arrive. Bow your head. Release the neck. Hopefully this feels really nice on the hamstrings. If this is too tight, you can ball your hands into fists and place them underneath your knees if you don't have like a pillow or a blanket to roll up under. And that helps relieve some of the pressure. Let's just take one more round of breath here. Exhale, release just a little bit more. And then stay folded over and see if you can't touch your toes. If you can't, start to tuck your heels in a bit and push your feet out. Minor movement here. You can also just give yourself a little toe massage, bending your knees and rub out the feet. Or you can push to start to stretch into the tops of the ankles. Last round of breath. And then slowly bring the torso back up, bring the right knee in, and bring the inside of the right foot towards the inside of the left leg. Now you can keep it nice and straight, or you can open it out to the side if you want to get a little more of a twist. Either way, arms reach up, inhale, and you either fold forward right here, or if you're on the side, you can twist towards the leg and fold, or you can reach with the same arm. So lots of variations, whatever feels good in your body today. Maybe your hands behind your head, maybe you're just sinking into this. Let's do one more round of breath. And then slowly start to bring it up. If your leg is extended, bring it back nice on the mat. Bring your right knee into the chest and cross the foot over the left knee. Right hand comes behind you. Inhale, arm reaches up and cross your left arm over your right knee, hooking the outside of the elbow to the outside of the knee, finding Ardha Matsyendrasana, half Lord of the Fishes pose. Let's just take one more moment here, sitting up nice and tall. Exhale, twist just a little bit more in the upper back. And then slowly start to unwind, and we'll take it to the other side. Both legs go straight again, and now this time, left leg comes in, left sole to the inside of the right leg. Inhale, arms reach up, and again, you can fold here, or you can bring your leg out a little bit, twist to fold, or reach with the same hand and reach overhead with the other arm. Whatever feels best for you today. In some version of Janu Shirsasana. Let's just do one more round of breath here. Slowly start to unwind. If your leg is out to the side, bring it back in. Left knee rises, left foot crosses over. Right knee, left hand comes behind, right arm reaches up, big stretch, and cross to twist to the other side. Again, maybe you smile. Get one more round of breath here. And exhale, slowly release. Start to bring everything nice back and out straight. One more time, inhale, arms reach up, exhale, fold. The last little stretch here. And then start to bring it up, roll the knees in, tuck the ankles underneath, and if it helps you to just roll forward right here, you can, into tabletop pose, Barmanasana. Take a few rounds of breath, maybe you wiggle something out. Release the neck, maybe you nod and shake. And then exhale, find stillness, finding some cows and cats. Inhale, drop the belly, shine the chest forward, gaze into the light if you are facing light. And exhale, tuck it in, finding cat pose. Really push into all 10 fingers here, arching the upper back. And let's just do twice more. Inhale, cow, Bithilasana. Exhale, cat, Marjaryasana. Last time, inhale. And exhale. Come back to tabletop. Left leg stays, right leg extends out behind you. One more round of breath, and we'll be tapping kind of like a rainbow off to the left and then the right. So exhale, tap to the left, maybe you look. Inhale, lift the leg, tap to the right, maybe look. Twice more. Inhale, tap your foot off to the left. Inhale, lift. Exhale, right. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, last time, inhale, and now drop it off towards the left side and take that stretch, stretching out your IT band, looking over your left shoulder. One more round of breath here, and then we'll be moving up into gate pose. So I'm going to rotate on my mat so you're not staring at my back. Inhale, extend your right leg again, and draw your knee in towards your nose 3 times. Exhale, tuck. Inhale, lift with the glute. Exhale, tuck. Working a little bit is okay after a run. Inhale. Exhale, tuck. Inhale, extend again. And now kickstand your left foot and weight in the left hand. Right arm opens up. Option to keep your foot lifted or drop it to the mat. We will eventually drop, so whatever you want. If you want to increase it, you can lift. If you just want to take the stretch, you can extend your top hand overhead, bicep drops over the ear. Nice big breath. Pushing the hips forward. And now engage the obliques, press into the left knee, lift it up for your full gate pose. Same side hand comes to the extended leg, other arm reaches up overhead. And again, maybe you drop your hand behind your head if that feels good. Let's do one more round of breath here. And then bring it back tabletop, and we'll take it to the other side. As you're ready now, left leg extends, and we'll find our rainbow taps. Exhale off towards the right, look at your foot, and bring it up, and tap it off towards the left. Inhale, lift. Exhale, tap. Inhale, and exhale. Inhale. Breathe it out. Last time, lifting your foot, dropping your left foot off towards the right, and gaze over your right shoulder. Look back at your foot. Take a nice IT band stretch, which is the muscle running outside of your hip, down into your knee. One more round of breath, and then we'll come into our gate pose. Inhale, lift your leg back up. Knee to nose 3 times. Exhale, tuck. Inhale, extend, use your glute to lift. Exhale, tuck. Last time, breathe in and breathe out. And now extend and kickstand your right foot. Open your hip. Weight in the right hand, open the left arm. Again, foot can be lifted, or you can have it on the mat. Maybe you extend your top hand overhead. Maybe you smile. One more round of breath, and then we'll use our obliques, pressing into the right knee, lift it up, and drop the same hand to the same extended leg. Other arm reaches overhead. Again, you can maybe even drop your hand behind your head. Sometimes I find that feels good. Pushing your hips forward, really extending the hip flexors here. One more round of breath. And then with control, release, take it back down to the mat. Find your way back to tabletop. Last round of breath here, and then we'll bring it up to downward facing dog. Inhale the breath, tuck your toes. Exhale, lift your hips, push them back. Ooh, really enjoy this stretch here in the hamstrings and the shoulders, pressing into all 10 fingers. Maybe walk your dog, or maybe it feels good to just find stillness here. Let's do 2 more rounds of breath. Let's find 1 more round of breath here, and then we'll take 3 little vinyasas. As you're ready on the inhale, lift your heels to prep. Start to roll your body forward into a plank. An option to lower all the way down or halfway down. Elbows stay in either way, chaturanga or towards cobra pose. Drop the hips. Knees are lifted or on the mat. Shine your chest forward as you breathe in. And downward facing dog, take it back. 2 more times. Inhale, lift and undulate forward. Exhale, lower. Untuck the toes, drop the hips, shine the chest. And exhale, downward facing dog. Last time, inhale, find your plank. Maybe chaturanga, maybe upward facing dog. Urdhva Mukha Svanasana into Adho Mukha Svanasana. Take 1 more round of breath here. Exhale, side out. Left foot stays, right leg lifts up into the sky, and open the hip, bend the knee, scorpion like your dog. Try to stay square in the shoulders. Let's take 1 more round of breath, and then we'll do knee to nose again 3 times. Exhale, draw it underneath, touch, and extend it back out. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, and now maybe you stay here, maybe you take some circles, or if you like wild thing, you can flip your dog if you know that's in your practice. I won't coach it or cue it, just if you know it feels good for you. Whatever you're doing, 1 more round of breath. If you're in wild thing, bring it back to 3-legged dog. We'll all meet there, and then we'll bring it up into a runner's lunge. Exhale, step your foot all the way through. Keep your back knee off the mat and stay here. Maybe you rock around a little bit, getting into the hip flexor here. Let's take 1 more round of breath, and then the left hand stays, right arm opens up. Parivrtta Anjaneyasana, twisted lunge. Now you can keep your hand here, you can maybe even drop it behind your back if that feels good. Let's do 1 more round of breath. And then exhale, bring both hands back to that, shine your chest forward, and exhale, drop your back knee. Maybe you need to adjust. We'll lift it all the way up into low lunge. Anjaneyasana, really getting into this hip flexor. So you can be a little more stacked, or you can be really dipped into it. Just try to find an alignment with your ankle and your knee. 1 more round of breath, and then bend your left tricep and pull it back. Maybe you open your chest. If the bind is in your practice, you can also find that. Let's do 1 more round of breath here. If you have the bind, release. Everyone, arms reach up, inhale. Exhale, hands to the mat. Shine your chest forward as you breathe in, and sending your hips back. Stay on the sole of your front foot. Exhale. Inhale, maybe you rock it forward again, just once. And then exhale, take it back and settle here, half splits. Wanting to stretch out the top part of your foot here in Ardha Hanumanasana, half Lord of the Monkey's pose. Last round of breath, and then we'll roll up onto our heel. As you're ready, shift it back even a little bit more. Find that nice calf stretch. One more round of breath. And then slowly start to take it back to your lunge. Lift your back knee, and we'll take it back to downward facing dog. Press into your hands and step your foot back. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Again, maybe you pedal your dog, maybe you just stay here. One more round of breath, and then we'll take that to the other side. Right foot stays, inhale, left leg lifts, open it up. Breathe here. Now again, you can take some circles, or if Wild Thing, flipped dog is in your practice, you can do that if you know it feels good. You don't have to, I'm not gonna cue it. Last round of breath. If you are in Wild Thing, start to make your way back, and we'll all meet in three-legged dog. And now knee to nose 3 times. Exhale, tuck it underneath, and extend back, scorpion. Tuck it underneath, and lift. The last time, bring it in, and step your foot all the way through. Keep your back knee off the mat, runner's lunge here. If you wanna kind of rock back and forth, you can, if movement feels good. Let's do last round of breath, and then right hand stays, inhale, left arm opens. You can stay here, or you can drop your hand behind your low back if that feels good. If you feel that your shoulder's rotating internally, just imagine that you're opening the shoulder out. The last round of breath. If your arm isn't extended, lift it back up, and then exhale, everyone's hands to the front of the mat. Inhale, shine your chest forward, drop your back knee, exhale, and we'll rise up into our low lunge. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale here. So now again, option to be a little more stacked, or you can really dip into it. Last round of breath, and then we'll add our tricep stretch. This time the right tricep bends. And again, maybe you hold it at the elbow, or maybe you find a bind. Let's take one more round of breath here. If you have a bind, release, arms reach up, everyone breathe in. Take your hands to the mat, breathe out. Shine your chest forward. And we'll take it back, keeping the soles of the front foot on the mat. Exhale, push the hips back. Just one time, rock back forward. And exhale, take it back. Staying on the sole of the front foot, trying to stretch this out. One more round of breath, and then we'll roll up onto our heel, feeling our weight shift back a little bit more. Let's take one more round of breath here, and then slowly start to bring it back towards the lunge. Lift the back knee, inhale, taking it back, downward facing dog, exhale. Inhale the breath here, exhale, side out. Inhale, lift the heels, bend the knees, gaze forward, and step or hop your way to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold and hang out here in Uttanasana. Now you can ragdoll your arms, you can swing around, you can grab the back of your head. Just try to find a release here. Let's take one more round of breath. And release, and slowly tuck the tailbone, roll up vertebrae for vertebrae, arms reach up at the last moment, big inhale. And exhale, take your hands heart center. Take a round of breath here. Do a little check-in, and then left foot stays, inhale, right leg lifts up, standing staff. And now step your foot pretty far off towards the left. Take your right hand, grab your left wrist, and lean towards the right. We're trying to stretch this part of the body out, right around the hip. One more round of breath here. And then lift it back up with control, standing staff, and set it down, exhale, and we'll take it to the other side. Left knee rises up, standing staff, and then step it pretty far off towards the left, or right, left wrist grabs Left hand grabs right wrist. That's what I wanted to say. Lean towards the left. Lots of left, right, left, right. One more round of breath here. And then with control, start to bring it back. Exhale, reset. Inhale, arms reach up, nice big stretch, and take it to the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, bend the knees, plant the hands, and step or hop your way back to your plank. Move through your vinyasa flow. We'll all meet in Adho Mukha Svanasana. On an exhale. One round of breath here, and then we'll find a scorpion leg dog again. Right leg lifts, bend the knee, open it up. And now this time we'll tap our knee to our right elbow 3 times. Exhale, bring it forward, tap, and bring it back. Inhale. Kiss your elbow with your knee, and back. And bring it forward. One more round of breath, and now step your right foot outside of your right hand to come into lizard pose. So now you can stay here. Maybe you come down onto your elbows. Maybe you come onto the outer edge of your front foot. Whatever works for you. Let's just take one more round of breath here. If you're on your elbows, slowly come back onto your hands. And now take your back heel, turn it down as if you're going to be in a warrior 2 stance. Right hand stays. Inhale, left arm opens up. Maybe you smile. Again, you can drop your back hand around if you want. You could even find the bind if you want to be a little extra. Whatever works for you. Let's just do one more round of breath. And then if you have the bind, release. And now we will lift up into warrior 2. Keep your front leg where it is. Lift up with your obliques. Whoo, warrior 2, Virabhadrasana 2, gaze over your front fingers. Grinding down through the outer edge of the back foot, sinking into the front foot. Just one more round of breath. Since I know our legs are probably tired, drop the back hand, lift the front arm forward, reverse your warrior, peaceful warrior, or Viparita Virabhadrasana. If you want to find a bind behind the low back, you can. Take a round of breath here, and then we'll find extended side angle, dropping our front elbow to our front knee. Extend the other arm up overhead. Take one more round of breath here. And now bring it back to warrior 2. Straighten the front leg, arm reaches up overhead. And then bring them back to a T. Reach it forward, and drop your front hand to your front shin, finding triangle pose, Trikonasana. If you want to extend this, you can drop your top arm over your top ear. Let's take one more round of breath. And then start to bring it up, come into star pose. Both toes face the long edge of the mat. Exhale, fold it forward. Wide-legged forward fold. So now you have a lot of options here. If you want to work more on the shoulders, you can find a bind behind the back. You can turn your heels out, toes in. If you want to work on the outer edge of your feet, you can find a twist, reaching to one side or the other. Just find what works in your body, where you are tight. Right after doing this run, I asked my other cohort members where they felt tight, and we all felt tight in a slightly different area. So trying to hit everything here. Last round of breath. Release whatever you're doing. Hands come back to the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Walk yourself forward, and we'll come into pigeon pose. So if that for you means that you lift your leg and start to drop the outer edge of your front shin onto the mat as you sink it back to pigeon, you can do that. Or you can come to a seat, left foot on the mat, right ankle crossing over left knee. So find what feels good there. And now you can stay up nice and tall. You can even grab your back leg if you want to get into the quads a bit more, or you can fold directly into your pigeon pose and sink down. Just finding what feels good for you. we'll just be here. One more round of breath before we do that little sequence on the other side and then take it back to the mat. So nice, quick little recovery here. Exhale everything out. Start to walk your hands back in or come back towards a plank if you're on a seat. Lift your back leg, extend it back to plank, and move through a vinyasa flow. We'll meet in Adho Mukha Svanasana on an exhale. One round of breath here. Release something, let something go on an exhale. And now taking it to the other side, left leg lifts open it out to your scorpion leg dog. Let's do one more round of breath here and then elbow to knee. Exhale, kiss your left elbow with your left knee and take it back. Inhale. Exhale. And inhale. Exhale, and now step your foot outside of your left hand to come into lizard on the other side. Taking a moment here, again, you can add movement if you want. You can stay up here. You can come onto the outer edge of your front foot. You can come onto your elbows. Really, the world is your oyster. You choose your flow. No, I'm not just saying oyster because I'm by the sea. I did just think of that. Take one more round of breath here. And then as you're ready, come back onto your hands. If you're not there already, turn your back heel down as if you're coming into warrior two. Toes point the long edge of that. Left hand stays on the inside of your left foot. Right arm opens up. Find a twist. Oh, look at that view. So now you can stay here. You can drop your top arm behind. You can find the bind if you know that's in your practice. But that's a lot on the legs, and this is a leg recovery. This is a little bit of work here. One more round of breath, and then we'll lift up into Virabhadrasana 2, Warrior 2. Exhale it out, release any bind you may have. Press into your front heel. Use your obliques to lift it up and settle in. Take one more round of breath here. Gaze over your front fingers, and then drop your back hand. Front arm lifts up overhead. Again, maybe you find a bind behind the low back. One more round of breath here. And then if you have anything, release and extended side angle, front elbow to front knee. Reach the other arm up overhead. Find that nice big stretch here in the side body. And then we'll straighten our front leg as we rise up. Inhale, arms touch. Adjust if you need. And then exhale, hands come to the T. Reach forward and drop your front hand to your front shin, finding triangle pose. Again, to intensify this, you can drop your top hand over your top ear. Maybe you gaze up, maybe you gaze down. I'm pretty entranced with this view right now. The water is my favorite color of teal. Teal is my favorite color, in case you were wondering. Probably not, but now you know. One more round of breath, and then inhale, lift it up, turn your toes towards the long edge of the mat. Again, I'll face you, and exhale, fold it forward. Wide-legged forward fold. And now again, maybe you try something new. Maybe you do still find some type of bind overhead. Maybe you twist from side to side. Let's just take one more round of breath here. Big exhale out. And now we'll take it towards our pigeon pose. Walk your hands back towards the top of the mat or come to a seat if you know that fits your body better. And then adjust into your pigeon. Ekapada Raja Kapotthasana. So you can stay up here. You can grab your back foot with whatever hand feels good to you. Or you can fold. It is sunset, in case you were looking at the fading light. Let's do one more round of breath. And then slowly make your way back onto your hands, tuck your back toes. If you're in a seat, find your way to plank. We'll all meet there. And last vinyasa here. Big stretch. And downward facing dog. Let's just take one more round of breath here. And then exhale, start to drop your knees to the mat, coming into Vajrasana pose, thunderbolt pose. If this doesn't feel good, you can just have a normal seat. I'm just trying to get into the quads, so you could also stand and pull one leg back if you want to get the same quad stretch that we're working on seated here. Take a round of breath. And now you can stay here. If you have blocks, you can use them, or you can start to walk your hands back, keeping your chest open, starting to open up the front part of the body. You can open your feet out, even if that feels better, to be on the outside of your hips. You can come down onto your elbows. You can drop your head. Really, whatever feels good. Whatever you're doing, just try not to let your knees come off the mat. So if you need to compromise something in order for them to stay on the mat, just take it back a level. It doesn't have to look like what I'm doing or what anyone else is doing. It's just what feels good for you. Last round of breath. Slowly, with control, start to lift out of it, maybe a little more gracefully than I did. And lift up so you can tuck your ankles, roll it right onto your back here. And we'll find happy baby. Lift the soles of the feet into the sky. Knees are in towards your armpits, and maybe rock around. And like I said, where I am feeling my little 11 kilometer run most is in the inner thighs. So this is heaven for me. And again, the organization I'm with here in the Bahamas is called All Hands and Hearts. I'll have a link in the bio if you choose to donate. It's like a Red Cross disaster relief organization. So we're here in the Bahamas, rebuilding roofs and rebuilding a school for children with special needs that has still been damaged after the hurricane almost a year and a half ago. Let's take one more round of breath here. And now start to bring your knees together, exhale. And this is a really great quad stretch. It's a little tricky to get into, so bear with me. Start to lift your left foot up enough so you can bring your right foot under, grab your right ankle. And now the less intense stretch of this is to drop your left foot back to the mat, and now drop your right knee out and down. And that's like the less intense. If that's a lot for you, you can release the hand as long as you're still trying to feel something in the quad. And then to intensify, you can bring your left knee into your chest and hold it with your right hand. So I know it's a little complicated, but you'll know it. You'll know the feeling once you hit it. It feels really great in the quads. Let's just do one more round of breath here. And now wherever you are at with your foot, you will find a supine twist, so you can keep it like this, or you can just stack your knees on top of each other. Either way, right hand comes to the outside of the left knee, draw it over, gaze over your left shoulder. So knees can be stacked, not grabbing anything. Hands can be in a T. Just one more round of breath. And then start to bring it back, and we'll switch, bring both knees back into the chest, and now cross your left foot under your right leg, grab it with your right hand, and again, maybe you drop the right foot to the mat as you drop the left leg, or you bring the right knee in, holding it with your left hand to intensify this. Let's take one more round of breath here. And then again, maybe you release everything and just stack your knees and have your hands at a T, or you keep the bind and pull your right knee off to the left. One more round of breath here in this supine twist. And then start to unwind everything. Both soles of the feet come to the mat. And now here, you can extend into your Shavasana pose if you want. Or if you want to get a little bit more into the hips still, you can do reclined butterfly pose, soles of the feet together, hips out. Maybe one hand is on your heart, one hand on your stomach. Maybe both are on your stomach. Let's take a few more moments here. I'll try not to edit out the sound of the ocean waves. I really hope you can hear them, but if not, just enjoy whatever music I have placed. Or maybe you yourself are listening to music, or can hear the birds chirping outside if it's that time of year. And just do a little body scan here. Hopefully your legs feel a little bit more relaxed or loose. Moving some of the lactic acid around if you are a runner, and if not, I hope you enjoyed this low body focused class. You don't have to be a runner to enjoy yoga or this sequence. And let's take 3 more rounds of breath here to meditate on something that we're grateful for. I am grateful for this beautiful sunrise that I can see. Sunset, I mean, not sunrise. I'm grateful to be here in the Bahamas. I'm grateful for a body that can move and stretch and do yoga. And I am grateful for all of you who watch this. As you're ready, start to invite gentle movement into the body. You can also just stay in Shavasana if you want. If it feels good, you can roll onto one side. And then maybe you slowly start to find your way to some version of a seat, or however you want to close out this class. Sitting up nice and tall, shoulders roll back and down, space between the shoulders and the ears. Thank you for joining me for this yoga for run recovery flow here in the Bahamas. I hope you enjoyed, and I wish you the best. The light in me loves and honors the light in you. Namaste.